When Massachusetts voted to legalize recreational marijuana, we also voted to establish the country's first ever statewide pot shop equity program. The goal was to make sure the new industry benefited the same communities of color that were disproportionately harmed by the war on drugs and arrested at higher rates than their white neighbors. But to say progress has been slow going would be an understatement. The state's Cannabis Control Commission only just granted its first provisional license to a member of the so-called Economic Empowerment Program, which was intended to give priority application status to members of those communities, only after first approving 70 other shops outside the program, 22 of which are already up and running. That first license went to Pure Oasis, which will still need to get additional approval before it can open in Dorchester later this year. When it does, it'll check off two major boxes: first recreational marijuana shop in Boston, and likely the first in all of Massachusetts to be owned and operated by a person of color. The shop's co-owner, Kobe Evans, joins me now. Kobe, congratulations.
Hey,
good to see you.
Thank you.
So two firsts, yet you're not doing wild celebration. Your quote, I think, in the Globe was, it was bittersweet. What was bittersweet about it?
I mean, growing up in the inner city and seeing, the plight of people like myself, and then going on and working the last 2 years with my partner, Kevin, to get to this point. We've seen our colleagues, our peers who are going down the same road and who aren't as successful. So, when we go back to the community and we, talk to people who want to hear our story and look for help, I can't be very optimistic in terms of the chances for them.
You said the outlook was bleak. Why? If you could do it, why can't they do it?
Because
I don't mean to disparage.
No. Yeah.
But why, if you could, why can't they?
Well, one of the things you mentioned is the CCC, but unfortunately, the CCC is hamstrung by local municipalities, and my application, as well as everyone else's, is dependent upon a host agreement.
You have to make an agreement with your local community before you even go to the commission.
Correct. It's an interdependency, and local municipalities don't recognize equity. They don't recognize the will of the voter as it relates to diversity in industry.
Primarily because the industry, as we discussed when you were here last with Todd Wallach, who's co-written this great series, is pretty much controlled by these big pot operations, some of which either are violating in letter or spirit. I know it's being investigated.
Yeah.
The letter of the law says you should be limited to 3. So how were you able to get a host agreement with the Walsh in the city where others can't? What did you do?
We were just fortunate. We were just, at the time...
Well, it's got to be more than good luck. I don't mean that to throw smoke at you, but obviously you did something that can be a lesson, I would assume, to other people, yes?
It's nuanced. It's very nuanced in as much as we didn't have any competition in Grove Hall. We had our application in, we had all of our ducks in the row, and at the time, I think they may have issued 5 host agreements at the time, and we were one of the 5 people that got a host agreement. I don't think they've issued any host agreements since.
Before we get to what maybe should be changed so that you're not sitting in a seat like this saying that a provisional license or a permanent license is bittersweet. Are there other? I mean, you need you need some inspections.
But
what stands between you and opening up later this year?
Again, the good thing is that the process with the Cannabis Control Commission is streamlined. It's almost like going to get a license at the RMV. You check certain boxes, you fill out paperwork, you submit paperwork, and you get your license. There's not a lot of, it's
a bad day to be praising the RMV, but I know what
bad
you mean.
example, but so again, there aren't as many political wrangling that are involved with the CCC.
So you're confident that it's just a matter of time, and as you say, checking the boxes till you guys open.
They're mandated.
Operation.
They have rules and regulations. It's very straightforward.
So I asked you this last time, but let's go through it again. What would you change to make it so that it isn't so difficult and there's not only just one of you, but others throughout the state?
So
what do you do?
The hard part is that, I wasn't the first person that went down this road to, open a economic empowerment and to open a dispensary. There were others in Brockton and Amesbury and Fall River who all sidestepped in the host agreement process. Massachusetts is the only state that has this host agreement process where you have local involvement in the overall process.
So we should eliminate that statutorily?
If you didn't have that process, I would not be sitting here because there would probably be 3 or 4 or 5 other people before me who would have made it through the gauntlet.
You just refresh my recollection, I think when you were here again with Todd Wallach, you said that shortly after we were together a couple of months ago here, you were meeting with Shailene Title, who's one of the commissioners, and Chairman Hoffman about that very issue. Did you have that meeting?
I met with Commissioner Title, and she was receptive to a lot of my recommendations. And again, they have come up with a system under their control that is streamlined, it's efficient, it's effective. They are, again...
But they can't dump the host agreement provision the legislature would have
can't.
to do. And you think the legislature should do that?
They can't. I think that they should do something. Will they do something? I don't see that happening.
Yeah, how about something that doesn't require statutory change? In Somerville, my understanding is they took a creative approach, the Board of Aldermen there, saying the only people who are going to get licenses, one-on-one, medical dispensaries already there can apply for a recreational, but for every one of those, there's got to be one from the Economic Empowerment Program.
Progressive.
A mandate that it's one.
Yep.
That's a way not to change the law and get it to
No,
happen.
but again, the onus is really on the cities and towns who adopt programs like that, but most of them choose not to. We're talking about hundreds of cities and towns in Massachusetts.
And is that because a small business person like you and your partner can't offer what the big boys and girls can offer? Is that what it's?
Twofold. It's that, and then you have you have lobbyists on the other end of the table who are in the back rooms who are influencing the decision-making process.
When are you opening?
Hopefully by Halloween.
By Halloween?
Yeah.
That's a pretty rapid timetable from here.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this?
I mean, again, I can't help to be somewhat excited about it, but again, we're trying to open another dispensary in Medford, and we're going through the same thing. Trying to get in touch with the Mayor Burke in Medford just to try and get a host agreement, and running into walls. So even though we make progress here, it's still kind of this. It's still a gauntlet.
I hope you continue through that gauntlet.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you. Thanks so much for your time.